What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with 31 days out physique update of Martin-Fitzwater, who is very determined to make the first Olympia call out at his Olympia debut this year. I mean, how can we deny that structure, man? And it seems like Martin has added some real thickness, especially in these past few months, especially in this off-season that started after this year's New York Pro. And I have to say that is some real improvement in such a short duration. So bringing up his arms, that was the biggest priority, especially in this off-season, because that was the feedback given to him by the judges. And that is why at one point in this off-season, he was hitting arms almost every other day. So whatever Stefan, his coach, planned out for him, that has worked superbly for him, as his arms this time are looking way more improved. So talk about making the first good impression on the judges, and on the fans as well, by doing that front relaxed pose. And I have to say Martin has got it. He has those big flaring quads, and that coupled with a tiny waistline, with that amazing vacuum. That is truly undeniable. So Martin wants to be in the top 6, and he is doing everything in his power to accomplish that task. Now that isn't gonna be easy, but still he is shooting pretty high for his Olympia debut. So the real hype for Martin started after he pushed Nick Walker so damn hard at this year's New York Pro. He pushed him to his absolute limits. I mean, he won that show by just 1 point. And that is why there is so much hype around him. So after watching Hunter Labrada in Italy this past weekend, that is another name that Martin will be looking to take out this year. Because the thing is, Martin and Hunter, they also have some similarities in certain shots. It is really crazy how quickly Martin has become so relevant, especially for that Olympia top 10. And I have to say the year that he took off, after doing the Arnold UK back in 2022, that has paid off big time. So I for one cannot wait to see his final package. And I believe Martin is going to surpass his New York Pro conditioning, and that too by quite some margin. So next up we have an off-season physique update from Regan Grimes. So Regan is going to be a father really soon. He has got a baby on his way, but still he isn't distracted from his bodybuilding goal as well. And that goal is to step on the stage next year, a lot bigger than last year, the biggest he has ever been. So many people did not like his decision of sitting out of the Olympia this year, because this is the second time in the last 2 years he is taking a whole year off. But I have to say props to him for making this tough decision and also being very realistic. Because the thing is, unless Regan makes some great improvements, especially in terms of size, he will never be able to make top 6 at the Olympia level. And the thing is, he knows that. So for Regan, who isn't pushing very hard with different aspects of bodybuilding, the man looks very decent in this update. The good thing for Regan is that he has a great back, an area where most of the competitors are lacking. So he needs more fuller chest, bigger quads, and bigger bicep peaks. Another plus point for Regan is that he has that massive structure. His frame allows him to pack on as much muscle as he possibly can before he has to think about getting block here. So what I mean by that is he can put on another 10 pounds of solid muscle on that frame without compromising his flow, his aesthetics, or his classic lines. In fact, I believe that would make him a lot more aesthetic. So Regan is definitely in that list of classic men's open guys who are also very tall and very aesthetic. So we did saw the best of Regan at the Olympia last year, where he was able to place top 9 in the world. So it is all gonna come down to how dedicated he is to bodybuilding, especially for this upcoming growth phase, which by the way is gonna start in about a week's time from now. So Regan is also one of those guys who has been competing as a pro since 2017. So earlier than some of the guys who are placing way ahead of him. So 2025 is the year to make a very strong comeback, a comeback that everyone is expecting. The reigning Mr. Olympia Derek Lunsford was in that famous Pittsburgh Pro headquarters, and I am expecting a very fiery interview to come out on the NBC News Online this weekend. And I am sure he would have posed for Jim Mannion as well, and that too under the most humbling lights. Because the thing is, nobody looks ready in that posing room. So how confident is Derek that he is gonna successfully defend his title? Well, listen to this. He believes that picture of him as Mr. Olympia that will be replaced by an even better picture of him. And that is what the champ believes.
Wait till this year's physique. Put another one up there.
So we'll replace it with a better picture.
There you go.
All right.
Then I have to come back and sign it again.
Perfect.
So people have now acknowledged that Derek has made some decent improvements in the chest area, especially after watching him hit those most muscular shots yesterday. And now that the entire video is out on his YouTube channel, we got to see a glimpse of his legendary back as well. And that is a showstopper right there, even when he isn't even flexing. So it was a well-timed decision by Derek about skipping this year's Arnold because of the way Hadi Choopan showed up. Because the thing is, he needed an entire year to make those improvements that were necessary to defend his title. And so far, I have to say that was a very long and a very productive offseason for him. So the champ seems extremely confident. And let's see if he can hold on to that density and all that thickness as he gets closer and closer to the competition. So next up is the update and the mindset that Nick Walker has going into this year's Mr. Olympia. And yes, we can all agree that Nick Walker is being counted out, especially for the top 3. And for a guy who claims that he is gonna be Mr. Olympia, that same guy isn't even making top 5 in a lot of the predictions actually. And that is why Nick has decided to stay covered up, especially in this final phase of the prep. And that is gonna stay that way all the way till this year's Mr. Olympia.
If I'm 5th, if I go from my last Olympia placing 3rd to 5th or not even in the top 5, I count it out. I don't care what anyone says. That's what, count it out.
And man, he is so fired up to prove everyone wrong. The same way he did for his first ever Arnold back in 2021, when he wasn't winning in any of the predictions. I mean, that was his first ever Arnold. And the moment Nick Walker walked out on that stage for his mandatories, the show was just over. And for the record, that is Nick Walker's favorite physique to date. His midsection was in control back then, and he also had a great combination of conditioning and fullness as well. So with the feedback that was given to him after this year's New York Pro, especially about his waistline, I'm sure they will be looking to bring back that same Arnold 2021 look, or maybe something even better than that. Because the thing is, he is so much bigger now. Now let's call it as it is. Anything outside of the top 3, that is gonna be considered a huge loss for Nick and his team. So what is your opinion? Can the mutant upset all the predictions? Next up is the current physique update of the former men's physique Olympia champion, actually 3 times former champion, Brandon Hendrickson, one of the best men's physique bodybuilder to have ever graced the Olympia stage in the men's physique. So Brandon has decided to take this year completely off, and that too for the very first time since 2015. But he has all the intentions to make a comeback and try to reclaim that men's physique title for the 4th time in 2025, and also try to level that record of Jeremy Bundale. So Brandon actually did what he said he was gonna do at the Olympia last year, and that was to beat the reigning champion, Aaron Banks. But the thing is, Ryan Terry just came out of nowhere and he won his first ever men's physique title. So a few years ago, Brandon announced that he is gonna eventually switch to classic physique category because he is one of those guys in the men's physique who has a very well balanced upper and lower half. So we will see how this goes. But the way classic is getting better and better with every passing year, it will be extremely difficult to switch to another division unless he takes some years off to add some more density in certain areas, especially in his legs. So Brandon will be majorly missed at this year's Olympia stage. But the thing is, the man has earned an year off. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.